Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we are currently working on implementing our intersections. So first things first, we don't have much implemented right now. Right now all we're trying to determine is how many ways can you exit the intersection. So like for example, right here, this is probably a 4-way intersection, E, maybe. But we do have a 5-way intersection. I want to be able to look at these a little bit more closely. So let's say, let's see. Let's call this, I plus, so that way we know what I number we are. I'm not sure that'll actually help that much, but I guess we'll find out. So that way we'll be able to see our index. And I guess it will, actually. We could do, instead of this, we could do subhexes i.gameObject.name. There we go. That'll really let us know what's going on here. There we go. Okay. So now we'll know which object is outputting what, which will be a pretty helpful thing. And I'll be able to hopefully figure out what exactly is going on with these intersections. That would be super, super nice. Okay. So we've got map hex 8, 42, 44, and 53. This is kind of a interesting little mess. I actually really like that road generation. That one's pretty neat. Okay, so let's check, for example, on, let's go ahead and pause this, map hex 8. That's this guy right here. So this is a 4-way intersection. So we're coming in here and here, presumably going out here and here. Is that correct? Let's see. We are map hex 53 and 42, and map hex 4 and 9. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this open. And let's check 53 and 42. And 4 and 9. So 4 and 9. Yes, I was correct. These 4 hexes. So that's definitely an intersection type that we don't have support for. This is basically a straight through, and then this is a 2-way junction. Okay. We can make that relatively easily. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. I'm going to go into meshes here, and I'm going to base this off of our road junction mesh that we made a couple episodes back. And basically all we're going to have to do here, realistically, I think, is what if we were to add modifier, mirror this like that, and then just modify that a little bit. I don't know. But that's basically what we need to make that junction work, is something along the lines of that. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this a little bit here. I'm going to certainly delete these vertices over here. We do not need them. There's no doubt about that. As far as this goes, we can safely move this back to be at an X position of 0. Like so. And then as far as this goes, I think we can just delete this and remake it, perhaps. So then we can extrude this guy forward to be about there. And then we can bring these vertices back to be right on this line. Like so. That was a bit too far, actually. Come on back. There we go. right about there. Excellent. And this guy needs to just be at an X position of 0, honestly. So let's go ahead and get him as close as we can without overshooting, and then get him even closer. And then as close as absolutely possible. So right about... My DPI is too high. I'll just manually fix it from there. Right about there. Okay. So obviously we have ourselves a bit of a conflict here with our mirror. So we need to go ahead and move this guy up to be the same 0. So let's go ahead and move him there. That's not overshot. There we go. And right at 0, pretty much. That's about as close as we can get. Excellent. So obviously our faces are facing the wrong direction, and we don't need a face on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that face, and then these here can go ahead and flip direction. Excellent. Now, as far as this goes, it's going to get a wee bit messy. But I'm going to go ahead and at this point apply the mirror modifier. I'm going to make sure that they did merge the doubles, and it looks like they did. Excellent. Then we can take this paint directly over here? Maybe? How much am I going to hate this? That's the question. The answer is maybe quite a lot. Yeah. We need to do this differently. This is not going to work. So what we need to do is we need to have this line here be here instead. So let's go ahead and undo what I've just done. There we go. And this line here needs to be moved, for sure. So what is the current edge length here? The edge length is 0.05. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cut here to be 0.05. So it looks like that's about 0.5. It's not quite there, but it's close. So right about... That's probably close enough. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. To be, you know, right at about 5. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. That's close enough. Okay. Next, I'm going to delete these vertices here and here. We don't need them, theoretically. Actually, over here we do, because I need to loop cut over here as well. So I'm going to loop cut there to be 0.05, as close as I can get it, which is right about there. And same thing right here. 0.05 is right about there. Close enough. Now we can delete these vertices. We do not need them anymore. And this line here is going to be the new paint line. Like that. Yes. Yes, like that. Okay. So, realistically, I think the curbs are basically fine the way they are. I am actually going to drag them out to make these lines be relatively straight. Like that-ish. 0.03 seems good. Nope, not 0.3, 0.03. Let's do that. And grab X, 0.03, negative. Yeah. That'll do. And now we will need to grab these along this line. And realistically, we're going to need to place them on that line. Which will, you know, be a little exciting because they're at the wrong angle. But that'll be fine. We'll be able to fix that soon enough. So I'm going to go ahead and actually turn the mirror modifier back on across the x-axis. And I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that is over on this side and let the mirror modifier take it from there. So we only have to do one side from here. I'm also going to go ahead and delete these two vertices. They are unnecessary. And also, this face is unnecessary. delete only faces. We don't need the face. And we can have this going on. Did that just go on the wrong side? Yes, it did. So go ahead and flip that vertex in the shading UV flip direction. Excellent. And then, finally, that. But we also need to flip that direction. And technically, we need to flip this direction as well. Would you look at that? Okay, so that's much better now. We can do the same thing over here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to delete these vertices right here. We can't get rid of these vertices. So this is going to have to be a triangle here. And then this will connect in right like that. And then this like that. Excellent. That's looking pretty good. And because it's mirrored, we only need to do it on one side, which is super nice. I'm going to go ahead and create a face right here, I think. And then we'll just have, like, extrude this out to be at a Y position of 0, and then a triangle right there. That'll do. And then, I don't know, probably a triangle here, and then this a quad. Like so. Okay, so now we need to fix this issue that's going on. So let's go ahead and zoom way in, and take that up to here. Make sure we don't overshoot. But we want to be right on it, which I think is basically right there. And I am going to actually go ahead and delete this face because that face is not connected the way I want it to be. So I'm going to delete that face and we will redo that face soon enough. Also, I'm going to delete this face because we're going to need to redo this one as well. Is that our... Yeah, that's our 0.5 face. Excellent. No, this is wrong. This is completely wrong. We need it to be here to here, not here to here. What am I doing? Okay, let's delete this. In fact, we can delete, not the vertices, we can just delete the face. Okay. This is going to be awkward. This is going to be very awkward indeed. Okay, so we need to delete these vertices. These vertices are unnecessary. There we go. And then this here, we need to grab along here and make sure that it is at 0.5. There we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and do that. And this face can now be deleted. It is now an unnecessary face. And I'm feeling much better about this. Okay. So this is 0.5, right? Or 0.05, right? Yes. Okay. This is not 0.05, but it doesn't technically have to be. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and take this on up here then. And there we go. Now we have our paint line. So I would like to extrude these along this same axis. Like, it's now too short, you see? So I think the easiest way for me to do that would be to just extrude it upwards and then extrude this whole thing out along this normal. That should give us a straight-ish line. And it did not. Okay, so the reason it didn't is because this is uneven. I'm going to go ahead and delete this here. And I'm going to recreate this edge here, but we're going to extrude this straight upwards a little bit. And then we're going to extrude this out. And that gives us our straight line that we're looking for. Excellent. And now I can shorten it up by running it along the edge with an edge slide. And we can place them all at exactly the same time, which is super nice. And I'm going to place them right there. Okay. And now I'm actually going to extrude it once more, I think. Am I? Yes, I am. Okay. So I'm going to extrude that out to be right about there. And then we're going to edge slide that right on into position. And it'll go right there. There we go. And now we can actually get rid of this face again as well. And we can get rid of anything that is up here, technically. So I'm gonna... that's not a great angle. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Actually, just that. And then delete vertices. So now we just have our flat lines. Excellent. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this guy. Delete that face. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to connect the face up here and here. And finally here and here. Excellent. And then all we need from here is that edge, and then we can have this be a face, and this is just going to be kind of a mess of triangles here. And then that'll be a face, that'll be a face, and that'll be a face. There. Now we have kind of a proper junction, proper two-way junction. I'm going to go ahead and save this as road junction two-way. There we go. Did I auto-overwrite my junction? Because I sometimes hit save, and I don't mean to. Yep, I did not. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this modifier at this time. There we go. And now we have a perfectly symmetrical road. Along that axis, anyway. It's asymmetrical along the y-axis. But now we can go ahead and do our UV mapping. So I'm going to go ahead and do... Where am I looking? I'm looking here. Here we go. UV map normals. I'm going to do a cube projection on that. And then we'll do our normal UV map. Not our normal UV map, but our regular UV map. And I'm just going to grab all of the asphalt faces here. Like so. And also these in here. Can't forget those. Excellent. And then let's go ahead and open up our palette image. It doesn't really matter with the unwrapping because we're just using a solid color. So that'll be fine. And now let's get our new paint. It looks like our old paint is still fine. I don't think we modified that, so we shouldn't need to. Okay. There's our new paint faces. UV image editor. Okay, let's scale that on down and stick that into our paint pixel. And now for our new concrete faces. There we go. Grab these as well. Let's check underneath. Just make sure there aren't any spare faces under there. I don't think there are. We can check bottom ortho. Nope, there are not. Excellent. UV/image editor, and let's stick this on into here. There we go. That should look fine in Unity. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves the road junction two-way. And there it is. I can't help but notice that it doesn't seem to have the road material, which is intriguing. The others, I think, didn't they? They should. Yeah, they do have it. Well, let's go ahead and put our road material on there. There we go. So now you can see it's got its road material. And actually, I'm not super happy with the normal UV map on that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the normal UV map and do a project from view bounds instead. There we go. Save that. And let's see how that looks. I'm a bit happier with that. Not a huge amount. We can always do art passes later, though, like I've said before. So go ahead and create an empty, and I'm going to call this Building Road Junction 2-Way. Okay. Stick that on in there. And this is kind of an interesting scale. Wait. Why is this a map hex? That was weird. It took map hex 8 out of there. Okay, I think I undid that. Create empty. And we're going to call this Building Road Junction, if I can capitalize, Junction 2-way. And stick that on in there. Oh, I'm an idiot. I still had my inspector locked. Okay, that was entirely my fault. Go ahead and zero out everything here, and I'm going to make this be -90, 30-degree rotation, 0.01, 0.01, and 0.01 for the scale, and the position will be 0.0001. And now the road junction 2-way should be complete. And we're probably going to be finding a few more intersection types as we go through. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and add in the road intersection 3-way to the prefabs up here. So, road junction 2-way. There we go. Okay, now which one is it? I think it is this one. Yes, it is indeed that one. Okay, so sub-hexes. Road junction 2-way. Excellent. So we now need to come down in here and say, where's our intersections? Where are our intersections? Here's our intersections. Okay, E or X intersection or 2-way junction. Because it can be that now, too. Okay, so let's run this. We're not going to have any change for the code, but I'm just trying to find additional issues with the way that we're thinking about implementing this. We're running out of time for this episode, and this is the final episode in my recording session, so I don't really want to get started on something huge right now. So I just want to take a quick look and see if we can find any errors here. So maphex 1 is saying there's a 4-way intersection there. Let's check it out. That looks like a... Well, if it connects here, then yeah, that is a 4-way intersection. That would actually be a 2-way junction because they're all mashed together. There are none over on this side, so that would be a 4-way junction. Maphex 3. Let's see what's going on there. It says that this is a 5-way intersection. That's accurate. That is accurate. We don't have a mesh implemented for that, so we could make that incredibly quickly. And I'm actually going to go do that right now. We're going to be basing that off of the 3-way intersection, and I need to go into the building meshes here. So here's the 3-way intersection. And all we need to do, literally the only thing we have to do here, is go ahead and delete the vertices from one side, like so, and then create ourselves a curb here, like so. I just overwrote it. Okay, so I'm going to save this as road intersection, and I'm going to call this 5-way, because that's how my mind works. And then I'm going to resave this as road intersection 3-way. There we go. So now it'll import the 5-way intersection, and that will be this guy right here. And let's go ahead and make him into a prefab. Not as part of the hex manager. Just right there. That's all fine. Okay. Excellent. So let's create an empty. And this is going to be not having a rotation. I'm going to call this Building Road Intersection 5-way. Okay. Toss this guy on in there. We are actually part of the hex manager, and I don't want that. Okay, so negative 90 and a y of 30, and then scale of 0.01, 0.01, 0.01, and a position of 0.0001. Okay, and now we make that into a prefab. There we go. And now we add that in here. And that will be road intersection 5-way, like so. And then down here, we can just go ahead and immediately say, when we are creating our intersections, road equals road intersection 5-way, rot equals vector 3.0, and this is going to be 5-way intersection without implemented rotation. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and assign that in. We can delete this at this point. There we go. And sub-hexes, we can assign the road intersection 5-way. That was a Y. There we go. Okay. So, let's see what else we've got. We're basically at the end of this episode, and I'm basically at the end of my session here. So I just want to see here. We've got a 2-way intersection on 53. That's an issue. Okay, let's take a quick look at what's going on there. This is interesting, because that isn't an intersection. From what I can tell here, anyway, looks to me like it goes from here to here. So what we have here is actually a merged, like these two roads merge together briefly. So we don't have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this from case 2 to this actually isn't an intersection, but rather the roads merged for a bit. Okay, and we will deal with that at a later date. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we will continue working on implementing our intersections. See you all then.